Hello?
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 Oh, hello, Barney.
Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Hello.
Bonjour.
Hi.
How you doing there? Yellow.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Yo, yo.
Hello? Hello?
Hello? Hello? Hello?
There's never been an iPod that can do this. Or this. Or this. Or for that matter, this. This is how you turn it on.
And welcome to another Fowl Original with me, Fowl Original. Hi, you're on the line. We're just watching a. Should we get a bit more of it?
This is your email.
This is your email.
This is the web.
Wow.
And this
Wow. Oh my god, it's a phone.
is a
as
call
well.
on your iPhone.
An iPhone? AT&T? 29th of June. Oh, this slide to unlock technology is amazing. Hello
So,
everyone, and welcome to the Fowl
say you're
Original.
watching Pirates of the Caribbean.
We're starting today with pure Hillary Clinton. It's iPhone stuff. iPhone, Apple unveiled things today. Hello and welcome to another Fowl Original. You know I'm not down with the shilling, yeah. I'm not someone that automatically says, well, you know, I love Apple products. I have a Xiaomi Mi Mix 2. Yeah, this is a Chinese phone. It's great. It's great. It's done me well. It's done me proud. And that's all I need. I don't need this. I don't need maps on my phone. Yeah, I don't need maps on my phone. You know what? Because I got Google Maps on my phone. Because that's much better. I'm not an elitist when it comes to the Apple stuff, but I felt like I should speak about this because it's in the goddamn news. And this is Fowl Original's Newsround. Hello there to people who have just joined for the first time. Hi, I'm Fowl Original. Now tomorrow we will be live in London when I manage to just about get there in time. Actually, I got loads of time to get the show on location, and it's gonna be an interesting situation. You'll see how it all works. You'll see if the technology follows through. I've been on a roll recently, a mini roll. Cadbury, Craft, if you will. You can sponsor me if you want, or you could sponsor me by going to fowloriginal.com, which I'm going to show you now, which is this place. And if you go to fowloriginal.com, you can help support the channel, become a sponsor of the news. I'm not going to work for the news. I'm not working for the man in that sense, but I will happily shout y'all out, pay for a little bit of the news, and you can go support the channel. And this donation, you can become a Patreon. As I said, this weekend that's going to be getting fixed up a little bit, so it will make more sense as to what I'm actually doing, because I think I've kind of figured that out over the past few months. And support the channel by Streamlabs that will pop up during one of my wrestling shows. If you subscribe as well, we can go to donate. And as I said, that is a Fowl Original fundraising page. And if you donate to the channel, you can donate $5, $10, cup of coffee. Cup of coffee a month will get me a cup of coffee a month, but it will actually help to get weird things that we've got off the channel. This show, for example, is being streamed on Periscope, Twitch, and the YouTubes. 3 ways, but if you want to make that a monthly donation, you can as well. And if you want to send me a little note, that goes all towards supporting the channel. So enough of the shilling for me and more of the shilling for the Appleites. So today, all over the Twitters, Apple has been talking about the new iPhone XS. I don't have an iPhone XS. Yeah, as I said, I've got a Xiaomi. I'm going to show you my phone. I've got a Xiaomi Mi Mix 2. Very nice phone. Really good fingerprint unlocker. Decent camera. Not really good for like live streaming, as I found out, because the front camera is terrible. But that's what you get. Yeah. Look at the drawer. Relatively cheap phone. I don't mean like cheap, but it's done me proud, and it got me off the phone that could do nothing. But the Apple iPhone X. Let's have a little look at the news in inverted commas, like today's news when Apple had a big PR stunt, and it was on the news. Oh my god! Like, just before I continue this story, like, I'm not a big fan, as I said, of the corporations. I'd love them to sponsor me though, so I guess that's kind of like, what's the word? Hypocritical. If it gets me paid, I don't really care. So this is the news, fair and unbiased. Once I get some sponsors though, that could all change. But the Apple, imagine if I got Apple. So no, Apple would not sponsor this show. So from bbcnews.co.uk, Apple iPhone XS unveiled and fall detecting watch. So for an item of technology that you didn't know you needed, to a protection that they probably thought you needed, because that's a fall detecting watch. So let's read, shall we? Apple has updated its iPhone X handset with 3 more powerful models, aka 3 more powerful SKUs to rip your wallet apart, 2 of which are larger than before. The iPhone XS Max has a 6.5-inch display. The iPhone XS has the same 5.8-inch sized component as the original. The iPhone's XR screen is 6.1 inches, but is lower quality. Ooh, so there's kind of like a good one, and there's a really good one, there's a relatively good one, and then there's just like one of the other ones. And they rebadged them, you fool. They've just recycled the components. A new smartwatch was also launched with an added fall detection function. There had been concerns at the relatively high £999 entry price of iPhone X would limit disability. I didn't know that the iPhone X was £1,000. But Apple said it had consistently proven more popular than either of the lower-priced iPhone X models. Yeah, market research showed that the people that were going to buy your products were happy to spend more money on your products. But Apple said it had consistently proven more popular than either of the lower-priced iPhone X models. Market research firms suggest it also outsold rival companies' flagship devices. That helped propel Apple to become the world's first company with a market capitalization above $1 trillion, £768 billion. However, China's Huawei still managed to overtake it in terms of overall smart. And this is a Xiaomi phone, but yeah, Huawei still managed to overtake it in terms of overall smartphone market share in the April to June quarter, putting Apple into 3rd place. Huawei was able to overtake it because Apple is not paying in the mid and low range ends of the market, commented Francisco Geronimo from IDC. But Apple is very well positioned in the premium segment. We don't expect that to change over the next month. So here we go, the prices. The XS Max will become the most expensive handset Apple has sold to date, with its prices ranging from £1,099 to £1,449, depending on its amount of storage. The XS will match the original X's $999 to $1,349 cost, while the XR will be $749 to $899. That's a little bit more respectable. This phone did not cost anywhere near those phones. Like, whoa, that's crazy. And you can just look at market shares, and it's got a bigger screen. It's like these are one of the market, like the new points that they've unveiled. It's got a bigger screen. It's got a bigger screen, but uses less LCD rather than OLED because they don't own the patent and the facilities to produce OLED. I believe that's down to Samsung. Or is it? Yeah, Samsung. So they're just putting LCD in. So they're making it look a little bit worse. But hey, it's a bigger screen. In addition, its chassis is made from aluminium rather than steel, cheaper, which means it is likely to be less damage resistant. So you're going to be getting dings all over it. However, unlike the more expensive models, it comes in 6 different colors. Look, 6 different colors. Analysts suggest the wider range may help encourage iPhone owners who did not upgrade last year to do this generation. Retention has become very high for both Android and iOS. Switching is largely a thing of the past, suggesting analysts at UBS. Put simply, the replacement of the iPhone is iPhone. The only question is when, and the when is driven in large part by form factor, namely the screen. So it's all about the screen these days. Like, I have a phone. Like, I'm going to show you my phone real quickly here, because the reason I bought this phone because of this. So this phone, the camera isn't on the top, so you don't have a notch on the phone, which is why I bought this. I was stupid, yeah, and I was like, I don't want a notch. All the notch phones are way better than this phone, but this phone just has a few like things that it works for me, but like the camera is there, the camera is over here, it's hidden. So like whenever I do the live streams, I'm looking up, and that's why it's really annoying. So I'm looking up over there, and it's really, really annoying thing to do. Like, I'm constantly not making eye contact with the audience because of this. Like, this phone is terrible. But the screen, it's a full screen. So let me show you. Like, look, it's a full screen. Like my phone, there's no notch. There is no notch on it. That's just all screen real estate. The camera is down there. So because of that, like this looks like an iPhone. If people look at this, they're like, that looks like a very expensive phone. And they see the phone, oh yeah, this is cheap. But I'm not the iPhone man, so I don't know. I don't really want to get an iPhone. Like I feel like I've managed without for as long as I can, and I don't need to do it. So let's go. The latest phones have a fresh processor, new processor.
Sorry, I don't know that.
Oh, Firmware says Face ID system would now work faster than before. And it's showed several apps off augmented reality. Hawaii recently announced it developed a rival mobile chip of its own. So this is just all a big, big advertisement. And as I said, I feel like I've given them enough time as it is. But yes, so they also have a watch which is with a usable screen 30% larger, despite the device itself having dimensions similar to its predecessor. So more screen real estate, less bezel. And what else we got? 38 versus 42. That's the difference in size, as you can see. The difference in size between the two watches. It's amazing. It's so big, so big. It's a little bit thinner. Like it is quite amazing, like the size difference. But at the same time, you can also display echocardiogram heart waveforms for the first time. Like bloody hell. And the timepiece will automatically warn its user if it detects their heart is beating abnormally fast or slow during everyday use. So if you get a little bit beep beep beep, it's gonna be quite funny if people start to get flustered at work because their watches start beep. It's like the episode of South Park, the insecurity episode. Now Apple said these functions have been given clearance by the US Food and Drug Administration. Why are they getting involved? Given FDA approval for health features on the new watch underlines Apple's leadership in wrist-worn tech. The fight for your wrist, commented Mr. Wood. It's an arduous process that no other consumer wearable company has successfully navigated. A new fall detection facility also debuts thanks to the introduction of next-generation gyroscope and accelerometer sensors, which Apple said sampled data 8 times faster than before. If the associated software believes the user has suffered a hard fall or remained immobile for a minute or two, it will send the emergency services an alert, including the user's location, as well as contacting chosen friends or family if set to. This is what I wanted to talk about. So forget all the ads for like the Apple Watch and all of that. It's a distraction. Everyone's a distraction. Yeah. The real news here is that you can have a piece of wrist-worn tech on your wrist that if you fall and don't get up for a minute, let's say you got a little bit too drunk, yeah, you got a little bit wrecked, and have a little bit of a shandy, you fall over, yeah, you smack down, and you don't move for like 2-3 minutes because you know drunk. Then your wrist automatically calls the goddamn police, calls the goddamn ambulance, calls everybody around, starts sending messages to your loved ones and closest relatives like, he's fallen over and he can't get up. Two things are going to happen. People are going to turn up and say, he's fallen and he can't get up. Or people are going to turn up and be like, have you been drinking again? Like, either way, I don't like the fact that Apple are looking for my wrist. I don't like that, yeah. I'm not very happy about that. The fact that they are the leaders in wrist-worn tech, to me, does not scream of hooray, screams of 1984. Not Alex Jones. I'm not Alex Jones. Please don't ban me to it. I'm not, yeah, but like, you know. Anyway, enough of that. So, let's see if I can actually get the chat up on here because, like, there is chat happening, but I can't see it. I do apologize. Let's see if we can get it up. Do I have to log in? Token expired. Oh. Oh. Un momento. Let's see if I can get this working. Not the best idea to try and do this in. Oh. Can't log into that. Let's switch over to our next story, which in other news. Sorry for the scattiness of this show. Where is it?
Sorry,
In other.
I'm not sure.
Alexis popped up. In other news today, we've got some more stories that I got popped up. So, First story, which I think is like a much better story than the Apple story which has been going on, is this story, which is Glass Animals drummer learns to talk again after lorry crash. So this is the drummer Joe Seaward, the drummer for indie band Glass Animals, and as you can see, he was involved in a crash and he suffered a fractured skull, broken leg, and had to learn to walk again, talk again, read again. His bike collided with a lorry in Dublin. The accident on 2nd of July led the band from Oxford to cancel their tour of North America and Europe. Mr. Seaward said, "I'd always taken my body for granted. I won't anymore." The band have released 2 ads. On Instagram, he wrote, "I'm extremely lucky. My family and friends and the doctors and nurses in Dublin are remarkable people. The band and my family sat next to me in hospital for 2 weeks while I couldn't speak or move and haven't left me since. I've been looked after by the best. Watching a body heal in real time has been quite amazing. Saying more than I is a very complicated thing and tiring, so it's adapting to lots of metal in your limbs. Your support, messages, letters, and videos have been inspiring." And he also learned trucks are extremely hard. And last year, Glass Animals made headlines after their fans' habit of bringing pineapples to gigs. Saw the fruit band from Reading and Leeds Festival. The pineapples, my friends, the pineapples. In other news, and this is something that I wanted to talk about, but from Instagram to Balmain, the rise of CGI models. So this is a story that has kind of been going on like in Metro. I read it the other day, and like in a few other places as well. Like it was on, I think it was on the USA Today website at some point, but they were talking about CGI characters that have been created specifically to be just Instagram models. Now that's a little bit interesting to me because, you know, like I'm on the Instas, yeah, like I'm on the Instas. I don't look like them. I don't look like these people. Obviously, I don't look like a woman. I hope not, anyway. But let's go through. So these 3 people are, as I said, these 3 women are completely computer generated characters: Margot, Shudu, and Z. These 3 models are the faces of Balmain's new campaign. They have the perfect angular cheekbones and ooze glamour most could never manage. But Shudu, Margot, and Z don't exist. They're the latest in a line of computer-generated models being used in advertising. Like, even the computers are taking humans' jobs to pump out content. Shudu wearing designs from the Balmain 18 collection. The new virtual Balmain army members are setting, I don't know why I'm reading a French accent, are setting poses recording iconic music images. Discover more through the link in the bio in collaboration with Cameron James Wilson at Shudugram and 3D Garments. I keep saying it, I think it says Batman. Balmain worked with British photographer Cameron James Wilson, who created digital supermodel Shudu last year. Shudu has now gone from having an Instagram featured by Rihanna's makeup brand Fenty Beauty to being at the centre of a major fashion campaign, all without existing in real life. But what does this mean for real models? Competing with literally unreal girls is scary. Louise Stone is a model from London who worked on campaigns with L'Oreal and Adidas. See her there? Big hair. Friday Flyliner by the one and only at Prisciliano. The 24-year-old is worried that the new wave of CGI models could make an already competitive industry more difficult to navigate. It's just so easy to be replaceable, she told Radio 1 Newsbeat. To have to compete with literally unreal girls is just really scary. You can shape anything you want and have the exact perfect look without the casting process. A big criticism of Shudu has been that the black CGI model is taking up space which could be filled by a real black model. Controversial. Lots of these CGI models are actually based on women of colour, said Louise. Models in general have it hard enough with how competitive the industry is. Models of colour have an extra point to prove and have to work harder. It's already hard enough. Don't make it harder by making virtual versions of women of colour. Dominique Robinson landed a campaign with Tyra Banks after the supermodel commented on one of her Instagram photos. She said she was in shock when she first saw the Balmain campaign. She thinks models need to talk about what it could mean for their careers. Girls work their entire career hoping to book a Balmain campaign, or any campaign really. If it's just that easy to hand a campaign to CGI models, what does the future of e-commerce look like for us? And it's not only cutting models out, it's cutting out production too. It's not just models who are concerned, and there's another virtual character. Like, if you look at her, there's something that they spoke about, and this is what I wanted to talk about, was the uncanny valley. And the uncanny valley is the point at which something looks too real to be real, and like it's apparently a shifting point that will occur. Like that is close. That is freaking close. That is. She looks real enough to be real, but just there's something slightly off about her. Margot wearing designs to the Balmain collection. Photographer Manny Roman was one of those posting criticism on Balmain's Instagram. He concerned about the impact seeing the models could have on self-esteem, and how do people get a job there? A lot of, there you go. She looks real. That I would totally believe it. Like. Both can coexist and work together. Imagine if a real model was scanned digitally and then could work anywhere in the world at any time and do multiple shoots a day. That could be amazing. But then it literally brings into, if everyone remembers the episode of Futurama where Fry gets a Lucy Liu bot because she's been digitally scanned, who would own the rights to the image? And from that point on, you have got yourself the perfect puppet for a fake sex tape. With any new technology, there's always a polarized discussion. Some people are staunchly against it, and some people embrace it. So yeah, it's a really, really interesting news story that I think like it's weird. Like if people could be scanned, imagine just being scanned and then never having to work another day. Just like leaving yourself to go out there and then just people just do it. That could be very interesting. Like I would love to do that. There's so many times, like today especially, like if I could have had myself digitally scanned and just wrote something and just sent it out there instead of doing the show live, that would be amazing, but I can't. So it's ghetto life. It's the ghetto life, isn't it? If you want to help out the ghetto life, you can go to fowloriginal.com. Go to fowloriginal.com, which is here. And if you're new to the channel, then hello, thank you very much. And you can see fowloriginal.com, and you go to support the channel. Literally another shill on Fowl Original. You go to support the channel, you can go to become a Patreon, streamlabs.com/FowlOriginalWrestling. And then if you hit the donate button, it will bring you to the donate area, and you can put in $5, for example. You can make this a monthly donation. Write me a note, log in to your PayPal, and donate via credit card, debit card if you want to as well. So let's all go to Fowl Original. Let's all go to Fowl Original. Let's all go to FowlOriginal.com and give him some donations PayPal wise. Thank you. So, in other news, before we head into our metro moments of the day, in other news, let's pull one of these out. I thought this was a fun story. Oldest known drawing found on tiny rock in South Africa. I mean, that's the kind of headline I'd write. Scientists say they have discovered humanity's oldest known drawing on a small fragment of rock in South Africa. The drawing is about 73,000 years old and shows cross-hatched lines sketched onto stone with red ochre pigment. Now, the real question is it a dick or is it boobs? Scientists discovered the small fragment of the drawing, which some say looks a bit like a hashtag. No. I know that they say a lot of fashions are cyclical, but I mean, I don't really believe that hashtags are being written on 73,000-year-old pieces of rock in the middle of South Africa, unless they had some really good futurists back then, or they were playing tic-tac-toe. The find is a prime indicator of modern cognition in our species, the report says. While scientists have found older engravings around the world, research published on Wednesday in the journal Nature says the lines on this stone mark the first abstract drawing. The article says the ancient artist used an ochre crayon to etch it onto the stone. Humanity has used ochre, a clay earth pigment, for at least 285,000 years. God dang. The drawing was probably more complex in its entirety, archaeologist Christopher Henshelwood told Reuters. The abrupt termination of all lines on the fragment edges indicate that the pattern originally extended over a larger surface, he said. So, could have been the Mona Lisa, could have been a dick. Mr. Henshelwood works at Norway's University of Bergen and South Africa's University of the Witwatersrand and led the research into the drawing. He told Reuters that while the team would be hesitant to call it art, it almost definitely had some meaning to the maker. There have been numerous other artifacts found in Biombo's cave, 300 kilometers east of Cape Town, including beads covered in red ochre, engraved ochre fragments, and a paint-making kit dating back around 100,000 years. Modern man, known as Homo sapiens, Homo, is first known to have appeared more than 315,000 years ago in what is now known as Africa. Africa. Yeah, cool. Story from the ages. Now, we're going to quickly zip into our next segment for the evening, which is a fave of mine. It's a fave of mine. Metro Moments in other news. So this Metro Moments is where we go into the Metro and I read things from the Metro to you. You seem to like it. So first of all, yesterday's top story, which we didn't, and I have to first of all, say that yesterday I didn't cover hashtag never forget. There was a reason for that. Yesterday, I looked kind of like the person that potentially may have carried out hashtag never forget. But today, I don't, Yesterday, I feel like it would have been very insensitive. There would have been a lot of people, there would have said a lot of unkind things, very, very bad, and I would have probably had a lot of Trump people on me. So that's just, because you know that normally I'm right in there, but Newsround is Newsround, have to remain fair and balanced, unbiased. Fox News. Fowl News. So you've got a copy of the Metro here. Now, yesterday we spoke about the 2% police pay rise with Crescendra Dick. And here she is. Dick on the front page of the Metro. Look at that Dick. Look at that Dick. There's a dick on the front of the Metro. Got a lot of mileage out of that joke. I know that dick jokes are pretty, like, they're pretty puerile and pretty childish, but you know what? F you and the horse that you rode in on. Now, going through the Metro today, I saw some fun stories. And this is one of them, which I think is one of the, and I like the fact that it's on page 3 of the Metro. Normally this is saved for like advertisements for like new channels and stuff. But no, this is nice. So, and this is just for foo. Grohl leaves barman hell of a tip. The devil was in the detail when rocker Dave Grohl stunned a lucky bartender by leaving a demon of a tip. Evidently feeling impish, the Foo Fighters frontman doubled his $333, £256, bar bill so it would add up to $666, 666, the number of the beast. His devilish gesture left fans applauding his generosity and humour when a picture of the receipt was shared on Facebook by one barfly. Dave Grohl tips the most Dave Grohl way possible, the poster said. The My Hero singer's display of benevolence came after he bought a round of drinks during a pop-up gig at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in Los Angeles, and he thrilled punters further by happily agreeing to pose for selfies with them. Where's my phone? Click. One fan landed a grip and grin when Grohl saw that he was wearing a Nirvana t-shirt, the grunge band he drummed for in the 90s, to the bash. Thrilled by the encounter, Len Catling tweeted, "I knew what I wore my @Nirvana t-shirt for a reason. Thank you for the picture, hashtag Dave Grohl. Honoured to meet you." Grohl, who's reported to be worth £215 million, dang, has been bang on form in the humour stakes recently. Bantz has been good with him. After losing his voice last week, he was forced to postpone shows in Edmonton and Calgary, Canada. The illness coincided with U2's Bono shelving gigs after suffering a similar ailment. And Grohl joked, "That's the last time I ever make out with Bono." Dave Grohl for you, that is. Look at him. He's so happy. Like, look at Dave Grohl. Like, he's just such a dude, man. He's apparently such a nice guy. He's like the nicest guy in rock and roll. I feel like probably one of the nicest guys in the world. He's just a nice guy, isn't he? So, also got in the Metro today, as my mini roll rappers go around here. Because the thing is, Metro's got really depressing recently. I started reading along the Metro, and I was like, oh my god, I can't read that on Newsround. this is a funny story. Okay, it's funny, yeah, but maybe not funny ha-ha. Probably not funny to people done to them. Sleeping tube groper guilty of bottom grab. A businessman who claimed to be asleep when a woman said he grabbed her on a tube train has been convicted of sexual assault. James Frumberg, 62, a former National Lottery Commissioner, playing the odds, was accused of squeezing the woman's bottom on the Central Line on May 1st while her boyfriend was nearby. He claimed he only remembered leaving a long pub lunch with former colleagues and jolting awake on the train. Frumberg of Edgware, North London, was found guilty by a jury at Blackfriars Crown Court and will be sentenced on October 12th. He's trying to do the Richard Madeley defence, and I really appreciate him for it, yeah, but it doesn't work. Yeah. You can't just say, I'm forgetful, you know. He got around, like, robbing from a shop, and I'm going to continue to say that. He got around robbing from a shop by just saying that he was absent-minded. He went to the judge and said, I'm Richard Madeley and I'm absent-minded. You can believe that, right? And he was like, sold! I'll buy that story, sold! Amazing story, yeah. An amazing defense. Like, oh, I just remember like, just waking up and like, was that the thing is, yeah, is like it's a very small story, yeah, very small. I need more details here. We need to know angles. We need to know like, was he asleep on there? Did she like fall down onto his hand? Like, where was the hand? We need to see like the Zapruder film. We need to see the angle of the trajectory of the hand. We need to see the pressure of the squeeze. We need to know, was it both cheeks or was it just one cheek? We need to know if there was a little, you know, of the family show. It's family show. We need to know that. We need to know this for science. And what else we got? So this is hilarious. And I was going to mention this story yesterday, but I just didn't because I was like, whatever. But loads of people were mental about this story. So Kirsty quits Twitter after furore over smashing her son's iPads. Like, I didn't mention it because I was like, stupid story. No one's going to care. Kirsty Allsop has deactivated her Twitter account after coming under fire for revealing she smashed up her children's iPads. The location presenter told Channel 5's Jeremy Vine on Monday. Jeremy Vine with the exclusives all the time. Jeremy, like, first of all, yeah, before I continue this, Jeremy Vine, you're doing a bang-up job there. Everybody that comes onto your shows is either dripping in controversy or creates controversy on your show. The amount of times that I've read the name Jeremy Vine in the news, yeah, and like this isn't really even news, but like this is a story, but like it's an entertainment individual, and Jeremy Vine's involved. Like Jeremy Vine is always there. Jeremy Vine is like the Jessica Fletcher of like the entertainment globe, like the entertainment landscape. If you get involved with Jeremy Vine, you're about to, or you just have come out of a really bad PR nightmare. I wouldn't want to go on Jeremy Vine. Jamelia came out all right, but oh, anyway. On Monday, that her sons Oscar Hercules and Bay Atlas, strong names, Bay Atlas had been punished for playing games, including Fortnite, outside of allotted times. I smashed my kids' iPads, not in a violent way, Allsop said. I actually banged them on the table leg. The 47-year-old pictured faced a barrage of criticism on social media following her remarks. She just got like slammed. Like, I remember she said that, and I saw the name Kirsty trending, yeah, and I was like, why is Kirsty? Oh, Kirsty wasn't Kirsty. I thought it was Kirsty Alley. No, it was Kirsty Allsop. People were going crazy about that story. It was very, 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 very controversial, yeah. Wow. Let's find another like not scary story. Oh, this is a good one. China is to regulate religious activities online. Anyone wanting to provide such services on the internet must apply to the Atheist Communist Party and be deemed morally fit and politically reliable. I don't know what that means. I don't even want to talk about Trump and what he did. Never forget. Hashtag never forget. And trying to find this is a fun story. Okay, so Kit Harrison So Kit the Cape Crusader for gay superheroes. Kit Harington is calling for more gay stars to be cast as Hollywood superheroes, with Ruby Rose, who says she is gender fluid, soon to be seen as Batwoman, the first openly lesbian superhero. Kit says it's now the guy's turn. The guy's turn. The Game of Thrones star who married Rose Leslie in June stepped up to at the Toronto Film Festival, where he's promoting his movie The Death and Life of John F. Donovan. There is a big problem with masculinity and homosexuality that they can't somehow go hand in hand, said Kit, 31. That we can't have someone in a Marvel movie who's gay in real life and plays some superhero. When is that going to happen? Former Spider-Man Andrew Garfield was spotted getting down in the sand with a mystery blonde. Pictures emerged showing the 35-year-old actor sharing a moonlight kiss and cuddle on Malibu Beach with the woman. Garfield, who split from Emma Stone 3 years ago, jokingly kissed Ryan Reynolds at last year's Golden Globe. This is what is in the section called Guilty Pleasures, and if you read through this in the day, like I edited it down for you. If you read it during the day, it's just like, it's hilarious. Some of the stories, I have to like, people don't understand. Like, the Metro is, as it says on the front, the world's most popular free newspaper. Sometimes the cheese is strong with the Metro. Yeah, it's very strong. Now let's also try and get. I don't want to miss any of the. There we are. Oh no. I've got Piers Morgan in here. Piers Morgan has said that he is leaving Good Morning TV. Great, I'm happy. But I'm happy that I don't even watch morning TV. I don't have time. I've got to go to work, but I'm happy that he's not going to be there. I'm happy that he's leaving. I guess he leaves the UK then, doesn't he? When his contract's over. Got a fun story here, Ella, and then that will be wrapping up our Metro moment. So this is our final Metro moment tonight. Ella of a long wait. Gran passes driving test 50 years after first lesson. Oh, there she was in the past. There she is now. Bit of a looker. Nice set of pins on her. I'm not even that guy. Like, I'm not even. Don't know how. Oh, I'm a lad. Let's play football and drink beers. Like, I'm not that guy. Sorry. Apologies. Metro moments of all times. Ella of a long wait. Gran passes driving test 50 years after first lesson. Learning to drive has been a long and winding road for June Evans. This whole article is puns, yeah. The great Gran, who had her first lesson more than half a century ago, has finally passed her test on her 57th wedding anniversary. Mrs. Evans, 75, gave up learning after a few sessions back in 1967 to concentrate on raising her 2 sons. But when she turned 60, her children urged her to try again and got a provisional license as a birthday gift. For more than a decade, she was content to use L plates under husband Brian's supervision. But last year, she decided to take her test as Mr. Evans, now 83, decided he was too old to drive himself. She failed 3 times but passed last week and has since made her first solo trip to the local shops in the couple's BMW S20R. I took about 25 proper lessons and Brian would take me out, but he's been the better instructor, said Mrs. Evans from Great Bar, West Midlands. Represent! We've had our ups and downs and a few choice words have been said. There have been heated moments sometimes. He shouted at me, but I think I'm a safe driver. I haven't crashed yet. Retired artist, Mr. Evans said. Oh, you're so happy for her. Accents, my friends. They don't have to be accurate. They just have to be believable. And that is it for Metro Moments today. As I said, I'm trying to slim the show down a little bit because we've got stuff to do this evening, especially. But thank you for joining for the Metro Moments. Metro Moments tonight. Now, if you want to help get more Metro Moments and be able to afford the Metro, which is very expensive, free newspaper, very free newspaper from the UK, you can go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you can then go to support the channel. If you go to support the channel, you can support me by the Patreon, which, as I said, I'll be fixing up this weekend. You can go to streamlabs.com/FowlOriginalWrestling. You can also just click the donate button. If you click the donate button, it will take you to my PayPal page, and then you can pop in a donation of $5, $7, $10, $50 if you wanted, and you can make this a monthly donation. You can, if you want to do it one-off donation, you totally can as well, and you can just pop in a "Hey there, Hermano," for example. I'm giving you examples. And then you can log in and you can donate with credit card, debit card as well if you wanted to. And it's all secure through the PayPals. That's another news metro moment. So let's go back to our original story, which is where we're going to end tonight. This is the new format, as I said, we're going to get down to 45 minutes. So today's big story was Apple event unveils iPhone XS. So, you know, great. Everybody's happy. Apple are happy. Are you happy? Are you entertained? Are you being, you know... And we'll end it with this because I feel like this is everything. This is this is everything. This is find it. And I'll find it. Oh, una momento. So yeah, as I said, tomorrow we'll be going live in London. Going live from from London town. So I'll be working a new kind of show that night. I'm trying to work out what it is. Also going to be going to Birmingham Film Festival. If you haven't already got your tickets, you can check them out. That we talked about that in the weekly wrestling recap, which you can check out on the other YouTube channel, which is Fowl Original Wrestling. That's also hopefully a nice tight 45-minute show as well. And you can also check out all the other stuff I'm doing on fowloriginal.com. If you go to my Twitter, which is @Fowl_original, you can check out all the weird and wonderful stuff that I'm doing at the moment. And also, I just put up funny memes sometimes. Not always memes, actually. Funny thoughts, hopefully. And we'll be talking about Birmingham Film Festival. I'll be doing a lot of tweets. You can also check out my Instagram where I put pictures of my food and this new haircut so you can see what I look like before and what I look like now. So on that note, this has been a Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time. But first, before we leave, I asked you a question. I did, which is, do you feel like you're being entertained? Are you being served?
Ground floor perfumery, stationery and leather goods, wigs and haberdashery, kitchenware and food going up. First floor, telephones, gents' ready-made suits, shirts,
Thumbs up
socks,
the video.
ties,
That really
hats,
helps with the algorithm and stuff as well. This has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time.